Hello and welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to go over my content strategy to hit my next income goal, which is £50,000 per month. That is a recurring revenue. It is not upfront. There's no high ticket stuff. It's not what I do. It's not what I teach people. So, those who don't know me, my name's Greg Hamill. I run a multiple six-figure online personal training business, and I teach coaches how to build and grow their own online coaching business. Last month, I made 36.5 thousand pounds recurring revenue in a month. This month we will probably do more than that. So obviously the next goal of 40,000 is pretty much inevitable. And I'm going to be going over my content strategy to hit 50k per month. All right. Now, I'm going to be going over this from my consultancy business as opposed to the personal training business. But this is stuff that all of you guys who are coaches, can watch and implement. I will probably add quite a lot of this stuff into a content strategy for the personal training business as well. Okay. So sit back, get comfortable. I'll try not to make this too long. There's a couple of little sort of golden nuggets that I'm going to put into this video as well that you guys can hopefully sort of implement into your own business. Apologies for my attire. I've literally just been to the beach, been in swimming, and yeah, I've not changed since. I thought I would just get this done. So my 50k per month content strategy. Now, 50k per month is more than doable, right? It's more than doable. Again, if you genuinely run your online coach business and you consistently grow it month on month on month with the things that I teach you, 50k per month after a long enough time frame is inevitable, right? I don't think the 5, 10k per month marks are difficult and out of reach at all. Like you can easily get there within the first few months, okay? And I think by implementing this stuff, you'll learn a lot. Okay, so first and foremost, we have like the fundamentals of content, right? So your fundamentals. Why is this not working? So these are the fundamentals of your content, right? And I've written these down beforehand so that I'm not completely going off script. It's just in my little notebook here. So with the fundamentals, right? Now, initially we want to provide value, okay? So you can provide value to followers by doing loads of different things, even like humor, right? But if you just tell them how to do stuff, the one thing with this, right, and you'll hear people talking about this, is the wow, not the how. Okay, so for example, you could go over calorie banking, right? Which every coach in the industry has probably made a video on, right? So this is the wow. This is calorie banking. You're showing them that they can bank calories for social events. Super easy things like that, right? So you're giving them the wow. You're not telling them, hey, John, here's how I would set up your calories and how I would bank your calories. So they still need that from you, okay? So provide value. This can be the wow, not the how. It can be humor. It can be basically anything which gives them something they can kind of take from, okay? And it can be humor. So quite a lot of times on my actual coaching page, I'll even post like not so much meme style clips, but videos that have went viral and been posted by other bigger creators, and I'll just remix it and post it on my page with my own captions on it. Anything like this, right? The next thing we want to look at is obviously to attract leads. Okay, so anyone basically who follows you, I would say, is a lead, right? We have like cold leads, which is like sending cold DMs. These are basically just strangers, right? We don't really want to be sending these people messages. Cold DMs are just not a vibe, right? You want to attract leads. You want to give enough value. You want to have enough on your page that people will basically follow you. All right. So we want to attract leads with our content. Now, we can do this in my members group. I'll post a link to the members group below. I talk about the fish pond method, which was what's the dude's name? Super successful entrepreneur. I think he's one of the highest selling entrepreneurs at like in-person events. So this was where I learned this from. I probably had an email from them. I'm also on their email list. Also, for email inspiration, right? This is just off the cuff. Join people's email lists that you sort of aspire to be like, because you'll get so many ideas and information from these people's email lists. Right, junk. I think it goes to my junk. Where is it? Where is it? You've probably heard of this dude as well. Mm-mm. Right, if I can't find it in the next 5 seconds, I will give up. So I would give him a shout out. No, I can't find it. Anyway, if I find it towards the end of the video, I will link it towards the end of the video. All right, but he's a super dude. You've probably seen him online. He talks about like he does in-person sales for their company. I think he's got the highest ever in-person sale, like in terms of like an event. So you can look him up. So we want to attract leads, right? Now we can do this with the content, lead magnets, etc. So one of the things that I'll be doing is creating a lead magnet for coaches, basically to give them a full breakdown of what I would do if I was in their position. So starting my own online coaching business from zero, just give them a full breakdown of what I would do. So for myself, that's going to be it. So full breakdown of what I would do. And this is a lead magnet. Okay, so a lead magnet, you've maybe heard people talking about these. This is basically just a thing which draws leads into your world, into your service. Okay. We then want to say turn those leads into customers, so people who are going to buy from us, right? Now, I prefer just to put customers in as a sort of separate entity. So anyone who kind of download stuff, I would look at these people as being customers, right? But they're still not yet paying clients. Okay, so if you've made a lead magnet and you've had 50 people download it, they're going to be your hottest leads. Okay, so this is just a very brief breakdown into what we're trying to do with content. Okay, so that can be promoting free lead magnets. I can be doing like a free 30-day weight loss challenge, anything at all, right? So try and come up with ideas for this to get people to tell you that they're interested in your stuff, okay? And then we want to get clients, right? So we then want to turn those people into clients, okay? So we basically have like strangers, leads, customers, help if I could spell, and clients, okay? This is basically like their journey. So you'll talk about this in terms of like the full, I'll come up with a name for this, but basically the full journey that clients go through, right? We're not trying to do loads of paid stuff and have like this fancy funnel which spits loads of people out and then you maybe get one client come through the bottom. You want to do this slowly, right? Especially if we want to build sustainable, ridiculous amounts of monthly recurring revenue, right? We want to do this slowly. We want to look at this as an ecosystem, right? This is how we want to look at these things. This basically wants to be like a full ecosystem, the full client journey from when they first find your page to going through, getting value, giving them free stuff, letting them interact with yourself, interacting with them, and then giving them an option to become a customer and a paying client, right? So this is kind of how this should look. So I'm going to be doing things kind of differently because I've never specifically had a content strategy, right? And I feel like now I need one because I am super duper busy. Super duper busy, and I find that sometimes content is the last thing on my mind, but content is probably one of the most important things for us to continue to sort of grow, build our business, and build relationships with our clients and our customers. Okay, so most of the content that I'm going to be doing is organic content. Okay, now with organic content, I would probably say to get into a routine of posting content as often as you can. Okay, so I know a lot of you guys watching this will probably have other full-time jobs, right? So don't set yourself, I'm going to post 7 days a week if it's not doable. Okay, you want to, again, I'll talk about this in more detail in terms of the mindset side of things, but you want to kind of ride that wave of momentum. You want to achieve goals, you want to achieve these things, feel like you've achieved something, and then success basically runs off the back of that with everything that we do. If we're consistently posting 3 times a week, and you're feeling good that you're posting 3 times a week, you can then up that to 4 times, okay? Because it's just one small micro change that we're making. For myself, I'm going to be posting twice a day, okay? I've set myself that goal to post twice a day. I may up that to 3 times. Again, just like I said about the mindset stuff, I was going to initially post 3 times, but I think I'm going to post twice a day, okay? And I'll go into the types of content that I'm going to post twice a day. So with that, I'm going to have organic content, right? So that's going to be, I'll not come up with a random number, but that's going to be the majority of my content. Of my content 2 times per day. Okay. Now in the background, I am going to have one paid post, right? Now this isn't me going into Facebook doing targeted ads, right? Because I genuinely don't want to sit and do that. I've done that before. It took me absolutely ages to set them up. I don't want to pay an ads team. I've built my business to the point that it's very successful without doing paid ads, right? I did do them once for a lead magnet, which kind of worked, but it was just way too much effort to set up and kind of maintain on top of actually building the business. It's not something I've ever done. It's not something that you guys will need to do. If I eventually get to the point where I'm making hundreds of thousands of dollars per month, then yeah, I'll maybe just look at hiring an ad team that can then do things for that. But it also kind of goes against the way that I like to work. I don't want funnels, right? I don't want funnels in place. I don't want these complex funnels. I don't really care about people. Like, I genuinely care about, even all you guys who spend the time watching this video, I would genuinely be emotionally invested in you and your business, right? If we have these touch points, you put this time into watching my stuff. For me, that's just the way it goes, right? I like people, I like helping people, and I think that's probably one of the main things that's helped me grow my business to the point that it's at just now. So, organic content is going to be the most part, and then I'm going to have 1 times boosted post, which runs continuously, right? So that just runs 24/7. Now, the only issue that I've had with boosted posts, now boosted posts, you can set these up on Instagram, they're super easy to do. The only issue that I've had with boosted posts recently is because of my location. So I live in the Middle East, I live in Abu Dhabi, and I get lots of like local people from Abu Dhabi follow me and interact with me off the back of boosted posts because it goes off the back of the location. Now, I do get a lot of my like target market also follow me off the back of these, but I also get lots of people who are never going to work with me. They've just seen the ad pop up, me talking about business or social media or whatever. So it's not really what I want. So on there, I basically created an audience. So when you go to boost a post, you can do it to like people similar to your followers, right? You can do it to locations, you can do it to different things. But the one that I've basically set up is, I think I called it Coaches 2025. And I basically went into some details on this in terms of like who I want to work with, who I want the ad to actually attract, right? So it's like Coaches 2025. I'll put that in here because I'm just being fully transparent with all of this. So Coaches 2025, and that's a paid post. Okay, so I don't spend huge amounts of money on it, but I run it as a paid post. I think I set it to like the minimum. So this is just another easy way for me to sort of get the know. So you want to build the know, like, and trust with followers. We want to turn them into customers and then want to turn them into clients. Okay, so this is more for the know. This is to get people. That don't know me to see my stuff, basically. Okay. Now, we're going to be doing that. We're going to build the know, like, and trust. And the one thing that I made a post about this yesterday, and I think a lot of the times, certainly within our industry, the online coaching industry, I don't know why this happens, right? And everyone says you need to be posting across multiple platforms, okay? But if we look at these platforms, we have TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn. I don't even know how to spell LinkedIn. I've never used it. I'm guessing it's LinkedIn. We have Twitter or X. We have YouTube. There's probably more that I've not even mentioned, right? This is so much stuff to focus on. So what I would do is pick one or two, okay? One or two platforms. Now, again, for myself with this, I'm going to pick one main platform to focus on. That's going to be Instagram. Now, with Instagram, so the whole idea with this for myself, and I think this is probably what's going to be coming with content, okay? Because there's so many short form content creators. And the way that I want to think about this is you want to build deep connections with people, right? You want people to come into your ecosystem. So I'm going to use Instagram, okay? I'm going to interact with followers. I'm going to do all the stuff that I normally do, build relationships with people, etc. But I feel like on Instagram, you're kind of limited, right? Because it's short form, okay? And then obviously the pictures and stuff like that. So the other platform that I'm going to be using is YouTube. So just like this video here as well, like if you and genuinely think about this, like I'm hoping you guys will learn a lot from this video as well, but maybe you won't. Maybe you'll watch this video and you think he's a bit of a dick, I don't like him, whatever, right? But you might think that was a very good, helpful video. I've taken a few things from that. I like this guy a bit more now after watching this. And this goes for like football teams, it goes for documentaries about certain people, sports stars, athletes, whatever that might be. If you watch documentaries and stuff on these, like I watched the Conor McGregor thing ages ago, and there was so much stuff that I liked more about him. I always had kind of mixed opinions on him. So it's just building that long form content. Okay, so this is long form content. Now, this is going to be a bit of both, right? So this is going to be value stuff like this where you guys can take stuff from and kind of value, education, and lifestyle to an extent, right? I'm not one of these people who shows off about money. Okay, I'm not one of these people. I literally don't care about it. I think probably one of the best things that money can give you, and take this from myself, right, is just the option to say no to things. You don't have to go to certain jobs. You don't have to have a boss. You don't have to have anyone tell you where to be, what time, where certain things. No, that's the best thing that money gives you. Also, the freedom, right? I work from home. My wife doesn't work. My son is almost one. Like, there's so many things that we can do, like going to the beach today. Today's a work day, and I went to the beach. We're probably going to go to the swimming pool later on as a family during my work day. So I can take my lunch instead of sitting in some crap lunchroom or cafeteria in an office. I don't have to. So for yourself, right, this is, again, I'll probably go into this in terms of finances and stuff like that as well. Just from my own perspective, I'm not like a financial advisor in any way, shape, or form, but just don't waste the money that you make. Like, you will make life-changing money for you, your family, your parents, whoever that might be that's closest to you, by growing your business, not from working a job and getting paid 2,000 a month and then having deductions and pensions and all this shit on top of it. So be smart with that. Okay, so the lifestyle stuff's not going to be really show offy because I just feel awkward showing off about things. I just feel super, super awkward with it. So that's not what it's going to be, but it's going to be some kind of lifestyle stuff just to let people get to know me a bit better, right? And I would recommend you guys should do this as well. If you are coaching and you have lots of good stuff on your Instagram and you're building relationships with people, give them something else to look into. Like, how deep can they go? Sounds a bit weird. How deep can they go with you and their connection and relationship to you? Like, is it just short form stuff on Instagram? Or do you have some YouTube stuff? Walking the walk, talking the talk, standing with a whiteboard, giving them educational stuff, whatever that might be, right? I would definitely have a look at this. Okay, I think this is probably where the outliers and the people who stand out within this coaching industry and the longevity of this coaching industry, I think that's probably where it's going to go. Okay, because you saw this kind of switch as well. There's lots of YouTube creators that I follow who have massive platforms and then try and go into coaching because they're fitness creators, they're in the fitness industry. I'm in the fitness industry. I love fitness, I love training, I love all that stuff. But a lot of them then try and go into the online coaching space. Now, this can be apps, it can be like 8 week group coaching sort of things. So there's a market for them there as well. I don't think it's the goal with this should be to specifically make any money from YouTube. Okay, if you have 1,000 subscribers on your YouTube channel, on my YouTube channel for business, this one, I have 8 subscribers currently, right? I have 500 followers on Instagram, and I've not went into my finances from this business, but I make good money from this business. Okay, this is not my 36.6k fitness business, right? But my goal with this is to get to the point that I'm making £50,000 per month from this business, and this is basically what I'm going to do with it. Okay, so the goal with this for myself is to probably aim to get 5 to 10k followers by end of year. Okay, now again, this is the one thing, right? We don't want to just get random people follow you. So if you do posts, if you do boosted posts, you'll see the types of people that are following you. So I know coaches who have, again, I know a couple of guys who've got really, really successful coaching businesses. They've got hundreds of thousands of followers. And one of the guys in particular who I'm very good kind of friends with, his business then started to actually suffer because he was making recipe videos and it was mainly women that were following him, but he's a fat loss coach specifically for men. So then he's having this massive influx and the wrong type of people viewing his content. So then when he goes, right, okay, I'm going to put out niche specific content, Instagram shows that content to a select few of his followers, now predominantly female, who don't really care about men's fat loss stuff. So they're then not interacting with his content, and his content to Instagram is basically been told, this is crap, no one wants to watch this, which is what we don't want. So you want to get the right sort of followers in. Now, I'm going to go over what I'm basically going to be doing in order to do this. Okay, so with my 2 to 3 posts per day, right? So 2 to 3 posts per day. I feel like if I set it at 2 to 3, I'll not be annoyed at myself if I miss a third post. Okay, now these are, I'm basically going to be using all the features of Instagram. And on Instagram today, I've basically put up, and this is content that I like, right? This is content that I personally like. Now, one of the posts that I put up today, and I'm going to go over this post with you, the only reason I actually put this up today was to sort of show you guys. So these are the types of posts that I actually like, and these are like the text Twitter style posts, okay? And this was one that I literally just made up. I took a picture of my Atomic Habits book on a blank page, and I basically just put it on Canva, and I basically just typed a quote out from Dale Carnegie, who's the author of How to Win Friends and Influence People, because that's a book which has had a big impact on me and kind of influenced myself. So this is something that I'm going to do because I'm interested in stuff like that, and I just like seeing stuff like that. And I go again, some of you guys probably will do. I know there's some big creators who do literally just post quote style posts. So for myself, it's not going to be the main crux of my business. And the one thing with this, right, if you're looking at other creators for inspiration, the whole thing with this is you're probably, I think now especially now, I think for my fitness business, now I was a police officer for nearly a decade. I worked for the NHS, which is the obviously the kind of national health system in the UK, for 5 years. My whole fitness business is set up for emergency service workers. So we work with police officers, we work with ambulance staff, we work with paramedics, we work with nurses, we work with doctors, work with fire service. I genuinely think probably some of the only content that I make which is fully original would be some of the sort of spoof style videos that I make on that page, right? And you need to understand this as well. Every single piece of content that you make now is probably, even subconsciously, impacted by other content or things that you've seen, right? So there's absolutely zero 100% original ideas with this stuff, okay? So, for example, Dale Carnegie, right? Me taking a Dale Carnegie quote. So, now, if you go on to that post, okay, if you go on to me, it's Blue Light Business on Instagram. If you go on to that quote, the one thing that I've done with that quote, and where are we? Right. So this was the post here, right? So this is literally just an upload picture of my book. I put this in as a reel style post. I'm just going to try some of these out and see which ones get the best sort of reach. I feel like the short form reels get quite a lot of reach from non-followers. So when you view insights on these posts, they get quite a lot of views from non-followers, which is the one thing I want. I want to attract people to my page for them to see the value that I give for coaches like you guys and go, cool, he's a cool dude, I'm going to follow him. So, like this post here, right? This is literally the least original style post you could ever have in your life. I've literally copied a full thing that Dale Carnegie has said. I've put his name at the bottom, right? But the one thing that I've done off the back of this, and the one thing that I would then say to you guys to do for these style of posts, for Twitter style posts, you've maybe seen another person's Twitter style post and you think, that sounds quite cool. I would quite like to put my own spin on that and put it out as my own post, right? It's absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine. But the one thing is, make it yours, okay? Now, again, if it's someone else's, I would quote that person, okay? Like, these people, like, again, James Clear, Atomic Habits, fucking awesome books. There's so many good books that I've read that I will be putting quotes up from, and I'll be mentioning that person in the quote, okay? Or in the post. So, make it yours, quote that person. Now, if it is a specific post like this one that I've put up from Dale Carnegie, what I would then do is make your copy so copy is basically just the writing, right? So you'll hear of copywriters, and then these are people who basically write copy for ads, for short form stuff, whatever, right? So make your copy. This is the text below on social media. So make the copy yours and make it relevant to your niche. Okay, so with that post, right? So that's a completely random post. Okay, some people would look at that and think, what a fucking random post to put up. But this is part of my strategy. And if you've seen that post today, if you do follow me, and you think, Greg, why the fuck have you posted that? This video will then make it make sense. Okay. But then with this post, so it says you can make more friends in 2 months by becoming genuinely interested in other people than you can in 2 years by trying to get other people interested in you, right? That's super specific, right? It's literally the exact same as what we would teach people in online educational platforms or spaces. So I've then changed that in the copy to get more clients. So again, my opinion and my take on this is that you can get more clients in 2 months by becoming genuinely interested in people than you can in 2 years by trying to get people to become interested in you. Right. And again, I genuinely am interested in everyone. Like one of my clients, well, not one of my clients, someone who's potentially a client, I've spoken to them. They were at the vets last week or the week before for their dog, and it's just genuinely been interested. Like I'm genuinely emotionally invested in how their dog's getting on at the vets. So for me, it's with these style of quote posts, I'm then going to turn them into something that's relevant for my niche, something that coaches can then take away from this. Okay, so I'm going to be doing quote posts. I'm going to be doing reels. I'm going to be doing static image posts and potentially carousel posts. I'm not the biggest fan personally of carousel posts. And I kind of want, again, with everything in this, like it's your business, it's your day to day life, it's your work day to day. So make it as enjoyable for yourself as possible. I just can't be arsed putting Twitter, the carousel posts together. I can do if I pay someone on Fiverr to do it. So if you like these posts and you're also equally bad at Canva, I mean, I would do more of these posts, but every single time I post one, there's something wrong with it, like the lines are different or something, and it just annoys me. So these are the ones that I'm going to be doing, right? I'm going to be doing these posts, and I'm going to be posting regularly on YouTube. So for YouTube, I'm probably going to do one YouTube per week. Okay, now with this, I'm going to also create a VSL, right? Which is, you can call this value sales letters or video sales letters. It's basically just a video talking about your service, right? So this is video talking about service, right? Now I'm going to do a longer form video with this, and I'm going to post this on IG as click link, not Linktree. Okay, so with this right now, one of the things with this to bear in mind, if you have links on social media, so even if now this is one of these kind of golden nuggets that you can take away from this. So links on social media, right? Especially if you're linking them to YouTube or VSLs. So YouTube or VSL, don't just insert the actual link because it will then open that link, but it'll open it up within Instagram. Okay, so we want to use deep links for this, right? Now, one of the things, I've just opened this new workspace. So one of the places that you can go, I'm not sure if Bitly does it. Bitly's another one where you can basically create auto links. But so this is what we want to use. Okay, we want to use deep links. Now, you can look this up, right, so that you feel invested in it to an extent. So you can paste a long link in here, and you will then get a personal link. You can then create a link with that. And when you're doing click the link to watch this YouTube video, use one of these because it immediately takes the person to your physical YouTube page. Okay. And if they've then shown interest in that, it's also good for Instagram because people click the link and shows IG they are interested in your stuff. But it also brings people, so for example, in this to YouTube, and the rest of your stuff will then be recommended to them when they are on YouTube. Cool. So that's one of the little things that you can take from this. So with this, I wouldn't specifically look like this is the one thing that other coaches seem to fall short with, and this is not something that I'm going to be doing with my business. So don't follow other coaches, okay? You can look at like adjacent businesses or people that offer the same, but this space is just so like kind of oversaturated with shit. It is oversaturated with just absolute nonsense. So you will probably take from other people. So what I would probably look at, right, is set up a like a personal page and follow other creators who are not coaches that you are actually interested in. I'm the worst typer on the planet. That you're actually interested in, and just look at how they do things, right? You're not going to then, like, if, I don't know, if you follow Conor McGregor and he puts a fight camp video up, you're not then going to make a fight camp video, right? But you can look at some other people's content, how other people do things, you can be inspired by it. So if there's pages where you, like, if there's people who show you how to make short form content, right? How to turn this boring video into this exciting looking video, right? Take inspiration from these people. So, like, follow these people. I would definitely set it up as like a separate page, and genuinely just follow people that you're interested in. Like, have your personal page, whether it's football, whether it's golf, whether it's, I don't know, knitting, right? Genuinely, if you're interested in knitting, go and follow. There will be some. I've never seen one because I have no idea how to knit, but there will be pages that are specific to knitting. Okay, so now with this platform, I will possibly, right, this is just me being, again, transparent. So I will possibly share short form content on TikTok. I haven't decided yet. I haven't decided. I have some of my mentoring stuff, my sort of consultancy stuff on TikTok. I'm not sure if I'm going to do this, right? So, Instagram is going to be the main thing that I'm going to do, right? YouTube stuff is basically long form stuff. I don't want short term clients who just like short form content and then leave after 2 or 3 months. They start to see a bit of growth in their business. Oh my God, I've actually got clients coming in now. Right, cool, I need to go on to the next thing. I don't want that. I want people who want to get to £30,000, £40,000, £50,000. They're the kind of people I want, right? So with that, I'm then going to, again, objection handling, filtering by even just saying things like this, and implement this in your content, right? Stop going for these quick fix things on content. I think that's one thing that kills coaches. Here's how John lost £50 in 8 weeks. All your clients that you're going to get from that are going to want the same results in 8 weeks. And when they don't get them, they're either going to get them within the 8 weeks and then leave because they're short form clients, or they're not going to get those results, probably won't, and they'll fucking leave anyway, right? So don't do stuff like that. Actually, just handle objections. We're trying to get good quality clients with this. We want to filter the people who are just not invested or who are not, maybe just not ready to work with yourself, right? Because they've not digested enough of your content. So, short form stuff. Now, on Instagram, I'm going to use all features. Okay, so I'm going to post 2 to 3 times per day. This will be, as I said above, right? Quote posts, reels, static image posts, carousel. Okay, I'm also going to have my one YouTube per week and link this via Deep Link, which you now know. I'm going to link this via Deep Link on IG Stories. Now, we have all these other features on Instagram, okay, even within this, and you want to, certainly, I'm not going to tell you how to sort of set up your own content strategy. I'm going to be using all of these features, okay? So one thing that I'm testing just now is, and this used to work, right? So when you used to post your stories throughout the day, I would always try and get people to engage every single day with at least one post, okay? So one story at least. Now this can be like the bicep flex, tap the button. It can be questions. It can be polls. It can be anything. Okay, so I'll put these in. So questions, polls. I'm just trying to think what other features they've got. Those are the kind of main ones. Quiz. They have the quiz feature. So there's so many of these different features that you can use on stories, right? So stories, again, you used to be able to delete story like the next day and it helped get reach. But apparently now, apparently, if you've never seen that video, if you have seen that video, you will know. If you don't, Don't worry about it. In fact, just do right after this. In fact, never mind. Never mind. I'll tell you about it at the end, right? So delete story the next day, and this used to help get reach on your next day's stories, right? This apparently doesn't work anymore. This apparently doesn't work anymore. Okay, so with this, the one thing that now works, which is meant to work for increased engagement with stories, I'm doing basically a week of my old stories. So I used to just post 5 to 7 story posts throughout a day, try and get some engagement with those stories, and then I would basically delete them the next morning when I woke up, right? But now, from what I've heard, it's easier to let these stories run for 24 hours and time out. This is like the best way to apparently do it. And then post as a bulk. So, for example, how I'm going to do this is film story posts over course of day, but not post them until previous day's story expires. Now, I'm going to just try this and see how the views go. So again, don't take my word for this, and see how views go. So I'm basically going to just record these on my phone the way that I would normally record stories, and I'll basically keep them. And this is meant to be the best way to sort of get extra reach on stories, okay? Which is probably one of the main things, because your page should be like your shop window, okay? So people should go onto your page and it should be like your shop window. There should be lots of value on there. So for me, that's going to be giving value in video. It's going to be client testimonial posts. It's going to be client win style posts. It's going to be quote style posts that I personally find interesting, because my service, I work with people one to one, right? I don't do pay me £6,000, pay me £10,000, and then get put into a members group. I work with people one to one, and I do calls with my clients every single week, half an hour on Zoom. So it's very, very personal. If I don't like those people, it's going to be a fucking nightmare for myself. I've got 4 client calls this afternoon, and I'm looking forward to every single one of them because I like the people that I work with. So that's why it's important to fully be yourself on socials. Now, with stories, we want to use all aspects of it. This is full transparency. This is the first day ever, the first post where I've used a poll on a post. I have no idea how to do it. I'm being genuinely honest with you. Everyone pretends that they have all the answers to these things. I have fucking no idea what's going to happen with it, right? I don't even know how it shows up. I don't know. It doesn't show up on mine. But I'm guessing for people looking at that, it will probably show up as something for them to vote on. Okay, so on posts, I will aim to get people to as polls, etc. Cool. Now, I have a very, very basic sort of content strategy calendar on here, okay, on Notion. You probably don't need one, right? Realistically, to start with, what I would literally just say to do is plan your content out over the course of the week, right? Now, I do have a video editor. His name is Jacob Films. He's absolutely awesome. I've had lots of different video editors over the years, and they were all subpar, right? Jacob Films is the goat of video editing, right? And again, I wouldn't promote his stuff on here if I wasn't fully confident that you would also love his service. He's absolutely awesome. So Jacob.films on Instagram, right? This is his page here. So if you are an online coach and you're looking for a video editor, I would highly recommend him. So this is basically my brief breakdown on my content strategy. Okay, so I'm going to be posting 2 to 3 times per day on Instagram, right? And I know you might think, right, okay, well, that's quite a lot, but the way that I look at this is the more you post, now we don't want to just get shit out, right? We don't want to just have a that'll do style post. Put thought into these posts, plan them out, have a saved content page from your personal, not from your business, from your personal Instagram account of people who you're genuinely interested in, okay, and you like their content, and save some of their stuff, even the way they've maybe filmed things, if it's a day in the life reel or something like that, like save these, okay? Because the way that I think about this is the more you post, I'll put good stuff, the more you will grow, right? But again, we want to grow with the right people. Now, I would genuinely rather have, again, I've got thousands and thousands of followers on my other page, but on this page I have 500 and something, right? And not to brag in any way, shape, or form, but because I work with coaches as well, I know I make more money from this page with 500 odd followers than a lot of people with thousands of followers do in their coaching business, right? Because I've nailed the basics with content. I've nailed the basics with getting my personality across. So don't stress massively on getting followers, but you do want to see growth, right? I do specifically want to see growth in this page from the right people, because I know that the right people will then come into my ecosystem. They'll then go through things that I give value with certain things, and they will then probably become customers. They will then probably become clients of mine. Okay, so this is like the super basic content strategy that I'm doing, right? To basically help get more people onto my page. So we're going to be doing 3 organic posts a day. I'm going to have one paid post, which is just a boosted post, no thought process behind it. You can click 3 buttons. With the links as well, make sure we're using deep links, because you then want to get people onto your long form stuff. So if you've probably experienced this yourself as well, where you've maybe seen someone post something on YouTube, but they just do insert link, right? And they then go on to their YouTube page, they copy the link, they then paste that link, right? So for myself, I can go on to my YouTube page here. Again, let's say this one here was Sam Ovens, right? You should watch some of Sam Ovens stuff. I love Sam Ovens stuff. You would basically hit share to get the link, and then you would then go into LinkedIn and basically paste the link in here and copy that onto your stories. Okay, so that's probably one of the main things I would say to do with this. And then the next time your viewers go on to YouTube, your other stuff will be recommended to them, because YouTube is the platform that they've watched your video on, right? Not now. I've got hundreds of subscribers in another one. I've got hundreds of videos in another one. This is my business page, okay? And again, there's a couple of little things that I'm going to tidy up on this and tidy up on my Instagram. So I'm going to have one static face shot image, basically from about here up, right? I'm going to have that across all my social media platforms for the same one. And this is something that I've got in my coaching business. It's not something I have in the consultancy mentorship stuff yet, okay? But you want people to resonate everything with everything. You want people to immediately understand, right, okay, that's the brand, that's the guy, this is his page, there's a video recommended by so-and-so, I like his stuff, I'm going to go and watch that. So just make sure all your stuff's consistent, right? I think here I'll potentially just have like a blank image or something, but I quite like this picture because it's cool, shows my lifestyle. This was in Oman a couple of years ago. So I'm going to have that picture there, not myself and my wife. And then on Instagram, this picture here, I don't think it's so much close and personal enough, realistically. So I will probably be changing this picture, right? I'll probably change this to, again, a straight up mugshot, face shot style thing. Now, with the static image posts, I'm going to be doing these style of posts here, right? I'm not going to be boosting these. I'm not going to be expecting to get engagement from these. This is going to be to build like and trust with my followers. So I'll probably do a static image post each day, something like this, just showing a bit more about the behind the scenes of my life on social media. And I will potentially even talk about stuff on there, like how my day's going, things that are going well, things that have kind of sucked over the course of the day, just basic stuff, right? But I'm not going to post it as like a carousel. I will probably be doing weekly photo dumps as well. So again, just showing the behind the scenes of my life, showing things that I've been up to. And obviously with Instagram changing these posts here, but this is again Stuart that I work with. We took him from 13,000 to 18,000 pounds per month. This is recurring revenue in 3 months. Again, Pete, Alex, we have client like Miles in here. We've got client testimonials. I just need to sort of tidy these things up. We've got the testimonials from clients. I've got some basic sort of B-roll style footage with voiceovers from client wins. So even just go through my page here. It is blue underscore light underscore business. So these are all the things that I've learned, having been in this industry for nearly 10 years and growing my coaching business to multiple 6 figures. This is the stuff that I'm now implementing into my business page, right? So you might look at this stuff, think, right, this dude's not really got many followers. Again, I know what I'm doing with this stuff, okay? And this is my basic content strategy for the next few months. You can literally just steal this if you want. If any of you've got any questions off the back of it, you can let me know. And again, I'm going to be posting some carousel style stuff like this because I kind of like some of these ones that you can swipe through. Again, some basic sort of objection handling stuff, some lifestyle stuff. You've been brainwashed. Again, random things, social media, me and the wee man, earn more, grow your business. So these are kind of the real style videos to maybe get attention, and these are some of the ones that I will then be sort of promoting. Again, here's like a day in the lifestyle video. We've got me looking relatively shredded. Content, build a tolerance for doing the stuff that you don't enjoy, etc., etc., etc. So for yourself, have a look through some of this stuff. Just have a look through some of it, copy some of it, copy whatever you want from it, take inspiration from as much of it as you want to, and then put your spin on it and put it into your own stuff for your fitness business. Okay, so again, if you post a picture of me at the beach, that's not going to work, right? But you could look at this post and you could again like make this. So again, although this is a Dale Carnegie quote, I made the whole thing on Instagram, right? So I took a picture of a book, I then typed this stuff out. So again, I'm just trying to think how you could link this. Again, this post here, right? So you could do the biggest lie in the online coaching space or online fitness space or online personal training space is that you have to restrict your diet and do 10,000 steps a day, right? Because how many coaches will talk about this kind of stuff? You could put in here, you don't stick to a calorie target and do slightly more steps this week than you did last week. Something like that, right? That's just off the top of my head. So put your own spin on some of these things, like look for inspiration from other people's stuff, right? But probably not other coaches or other people who are in your sort of industry, right? Look just outside of that, look externally. And this is basically what I'm going to be doing. This is going to be my content strategy for the next wee while, and I'm pretty much going to go super hard on it. So stories, again, if you're not doing this, I would recommend doing at least 4 to 5 story posts per day. I haven't really worked out with the timeout thing whether this works well or not. I'm going to try this, and I'll obviously let you guys know. And then with posting, I'm going to be posting 2 to 3 times a day, whether it's quote posts, Twitter style posts, whether it is static image posts, whether it's reels, no matter what that is. Again, Jacob Films is the guy that does my videos, so I will make videos. I will then send them over to him, let him edit them, and then I'll post them. Okay, and this is basically it. So hopefully you guys have found this relatively useful in terms of what my sort of structure and strategy is going to look like. If you did, make sure you subscribe to the channel because I'm going to be putting stuff out like this more often. If you've clicked on this through Instagram, you've clicked a deep link, mate. So next time you come onto YouTube, all my stuff will be promoted, shown to yourself, prompted. You'll be prompted to watch some of my other videos. But yeah, hopefully this has helped. I know a lot of people don't go over stuff like this because it feels weird for people to go over it, but this is my content strategy. This is what I'm going to be doing. And again, this is also going to help grow the audience, but with the right people. Okay, so that's the one thing you want. If you're getting like fucking random people follow you off the back of stuff, don't think, right, this reel has done well because I've had 500 mums follow me off the back of it. If you don't work with mums. Okay, so we need to be smart about this. You want to get the right sort of people following you. So, any questions? Let me know.